Hi everyone, we are Amanda and Peter from Go Cruise and Travel. So I'm Amanda.
And I'm Peter.
Hi. It's just a very quick introduction, just to let you know that we did have some technical difficulties with the presentation at the cathedral. So what happened was the projector wasn't working or the screen wasn't working, so we had to do it without slides. So what I'm trying to do here is to put the presentation that was done without the slides on top of the slides, so please bear with me. It may not be perfect, but it's the best that I can do, and I just thought that at the time you'd get a chance to also speak to us and know who we are as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Thank you for listening.
What we're doing today. We hope you get the presentation on the screen. If we don't, we will send you a link to the video presentation, because it's all been recorded. There's two things to put together. Right, there's two things to put together. We're going to go cruise and travel with Amanda and Peter. Amanda, my wife. And we're working with Peter. And we're working with Riviera Travel. Alex. Now, many of you know me because I work here as a guide and I'm also a travel agent. And one of the things we do, we put the two together and came up with the idea of this cruise down the River Danube. But let me tell you a little bit about Go Cruise and Travel. It's part of the Fred Olsen Group, very, very big organisation. And Go Cruise and Travel runs the agents. We have a passion for travel. We've done a lot of cruises. We really love it. We also have an incredible attention to detail because we used to be in the surgery business before. You don't want to get things wrong if you do that. So everything along those lines pointed us to do travel with attention to detail and a personal service. What we want to be able to do is to match you to the right cruise, going to the right destinations. You're in the right cabin, on the right deck. We look into all that, make sure everything's just right for what you want. And we provide that service. We book your excursions, we book your dining arrangements, anything else you want. Somebody's an engineer. Who knows? There's somebody who knows the engineer anyway. So that's our background. We are available. You always, if you phone us, you get through to either Amanda or me all the time. We work outside our office hours as well. So we're never alone. Now, the idea of the Danube cruise is that I've got a passion for the cathedral. Well, I'll tell you the truth, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, I didn't have a passion for the cathedral. But circumstances got me involved as a welcomer at the cathedral. And the passion grew. And I became a guide at the cathedral. And there's a few of my fellow guides, a class of 24 here. And we worked as a group together. It was brilliant. And my passion for the cathedral, in fact our passion for the cathedral grew. And with more knowledge became more understanding, and so the love grew. I just like being in the cathedral. And I thought, well, is it just this cathedral? Would I be interested in going to a different cathedral? And I have, I've gone around many other cathedrals. And in the past, I would have just gone in and had a look around and just, this is pretty, we'll walk down. But I find myself looking, those lancet windows, they're not quite the same as what they are at Wells, and so on and so on. But there is a passion there. Riviera Travel, I've got cruise companies, they're probably the foremost in Europe, river cruise company. And it goes down the Danube, and it goes off from Budapest, ends up in Vienna. I should see all the it goes through 5 cities or towns, each of which has got its own cathedral. And when I saw that, I thought, this is absolutely my assistant here. If you want to come closer, I'll just hold it, to be honest. Sure. Yeah, easier. Okay. So we'll just put the service. So there we are. We're going to go down the Danube and we're going to visit 5 cathedrals and Mel Cathedral. Now, I've looked at other river cruises, and some visit these cathedrals. This is a few cathedrals, but this is a cathedral nearly every day. And I thought, what a fabulous opportunity. And I thought, a little bit more than that. I thought, if we can get a group together from Wells Cathedral, staff, volunteers, and friends of the cathedral, we're all like-minded. Well, I hope we are, anyway. I hope we all love the cathedral. So we can get all those people together, and we know each other, or we'll get to know each other, and we go down the Danube together as a group. It's all inclusive. The cruise that we're looking at is the 20th of April next year. What we're going to do is, I hope I'm not stealing your thunder. We're going to give you £50 off per person. Per person. And we're going to pay for your entrance fees into the cathedral. Now we all know what the entrance fee is into this cathedral. Believe me, it's not a lot different on the continent. And they'll carry us to blow your mind when you find out how much it is to go in there. So it's quite a good deal. And what Riviera has done for us, they've set aside a number of seats on the aeroplane, and they've set aside a number of cabins for us. But the introductory price, I think, is £2,099 to Riviera. You've got your £50 off. And I think the price for a solo occupancy, they've done a special deal for us. It's normally about 85% extra. So you pay 1.85 if there's one in the cabin. This time, the price of £2,099, I think it's got the 2,600. It's a really good deal. Something. It's a really good deal. So for those of you that are thinking of going solo, you want to do it now, because in the future, after this promotion, it's going to be about another 1,000 or something pounds. So that's what's going on. What else should I tell you about my visual prompts? I think that's about it, really.
Travel.
Oh, yeah. Is it working?
No, it's just thinking about
on the travel side of it, the airline we're going with is British Airways, and it's from London Heathrow. So we were a bit concerned about how people are going to get to London Heathrow. It's a bit of a, it's not easy, is it? So depending on the number that we get on today's promotion, it's going to go on for about 3 or 4 weeks, the promotion deal. During which time we're going to send out more videos to our links to videos for everybody else who's not going to get here. Depending upon the numbers, the uptake, we're going to provide at an affordable cost coach transfer from the cathedral to London Heathrow and back. I don't know what the cost of that is yet. Obviously, it's dependent on numbers and what type of coach or minibus or whatever it is that you have to organise. But you're going to be accompanied from here back to here, and everything in between, getting to the airport, getting on the aeroplane, being on the aeroplane, getting off the aeroplane, transferring to the ship, going around all the places. You're accompanied at all times by an angel. Some of us will think that's a bonus. Some of you don't know, you think that's a curse. But we will be accompanied, and attention to detail at all times. If anything goes wrong, we will be there. Okay? Now I'm going to leave it there, because we're going to have the slides. And we're going to hand you over to Alex.
Thanks, Peter. So, yeah, Peter's right. I mean, travelling with a group is great. You get a lot of extra benefits.
Hi everyone, I am not Alex from Riviera Cruises, I'm Amanda. Unfortunately we couldn't get his video, the voice to link to the video, so I'm going to do my very best to present this for him. Yes, Alex, I hope I do it justice, but my name's Amanda and I'm from Go Cruise and Travel, but on behalf of Alex from Riviera Travel, and really excited to tell you a little bit about who Riviera is, what they offer, and why you might want to do river cruise with Riviera Travel. They're UK's leading river cruise, and they've been crafting unforgettable journeys for over 40 years as the UK's leading river cruise and curated tour specialist. Riviera pride themselves on delivering exceptional travel with outstanding service, quality and value at the heart of everything that they do. And they are really proud to deliver river cruises with the British guest in mind. So Riviera are a British company. That means that you're going to get the little touches of Britain in there, like your afternoon tea, you've got Twining's tea bags, you've got all the little bits of touches that you would expect from a British company. And they're award winning, so they've held the recommended provider status for 13 years and have recently won the Which recommended best value river cruise line, which is pretty special. So why might you want to do a river cruise? So if you've never been on a river cruise before, it truly is one of the most relaxing and enjoyable ways to travel. Think about this, you're gliding along the water on a luxurious 5-star ship, you're watching the world go by, and with river cruising the journey is just as magical as the destination. You're only going to need to unpack once and you dock right in the heart of each destination. So there's no long transfers, no buses, you get off in the middle of the city, some of them right next to the cathedrals, and you just step off the ship and you're ready to explore. But the experience doesn't stop there. So on board, the service is second to none. The staff quickly learn your name, and they even know your favourite drinks. If you like a G&T at 5 o'clock, they'll have it ready for you. The food is amazing and the whole atmosphere is warm and welcoming. Plus, we bring the destination on board with locally inspired meals and authentic entertainment for you that reflects the culture and spirit of the places that you visit. You're going to see the stunning scenery as you go along. You've not got lots and lots of water like you might have on a river cruise, and there's much fewer people and smaller ships, so it's a much more intimate experience. With a Riviera Travel cruise, almost everything is taken care of, so you can just relax and enjoy the journey. So here's what is included. So you've got your flights and your transfers are included from the UK, with all your connections to your ship. You're going to have an expert tour manager with you throughout your journey. You're going to have luxury accommodation on board. They're all 5-star ships with all the comforts you'd expect, and I'm going to show you some photos of those soon. Amazing food, the full board dining, including regional specialities. You've got guided tours and daily excursions. They're all included in the price, so you've got to pay anything extra like you might do on an ocean cruise ship. And complimentary Wi-Fi is also included, so the only thing you have to do is sit back, relax and watch the world float by. There is nothing, so the price that you pay when you get on board is not going up with when you get off board. Everything on board that ship, including your excursions, your Wi-Fi, your drinks, your food, is completely included in the price. There are no hidden extras. And for 2026 river cruises, from 10 a.m. till midnight, you can include red, white and rosé and sparkling house wines, including non-alcoholic versions, choice of draft beers, including non-alcoholic versions, a selection of soft drinks and juices, cocktails and mocktails of the day. You've got all your house spirits, excluding liqueurs, and daily recommended wines, tea and coffee, etc. So the dining, there's some amazing. The dining on board is what really makes Riviera. We are renowned for our culinary experiences. So we've got things like, if you look at this menu, this is a typical dinner menu where you will have many choices. But this could be a typical one. You've got poached egg on crisp frisée with Comté cheese, roasted walnuts and balsamic dressing. And then a niçoise consommé with vegetable broth, aubergine, courgettes, bell pepper, pasta and pesto. A pan-fried fillet of sea bream, lemon butter sauce, orange fennel risotto, and then classic creme brulee. And then you've got also some like local flavours. So on this one, there's a Dutch local flavour because that was a Dutch crossing. Your excursions are all included. You get a tour included in every stop with a local expert tour guide, as well as selected excursions and free time on your own. So all your excursions are included in the price. They're normally morning or afternoon, but sometimes they're full day, which gives you free time to explore or time to be on the ship and just chill out. You don't need to book the excursions, you just join them. And we use really good local guides. Guests go off into smaller groups for the excursions, and all guides speak a really high level of English, and headsets are provided for you. We've got a stunning fleet of 14 world-class ships, one of the most modern and well appointed in Europe, and here you can see one of the beautiful bedrooms. But your ship is it's the sister or ship to this is Oscar Wilde. Yours is actually the William Wordsworth, but they're both the same. And as you can see, you've got at the back of the ship, you've got this pool deck here, and then going here, you've got some of the rooms here, your restaurant there, then you've got the central stairs here, which I'm going to show you in a moment, the spa, then you've got your outdoor area at the top with lots and lots of seating areas and pool lounges, and you can even rent bikes and take bikes off if you wish for the day. You don't need to rent them, you just borrow them. So here's the lift area and the restaurant area. Beautiful restaurant area where you would have most of your meals. There is another restaurant at the back of the ship that you can book to go into. One of the bistro areas and the lounge areas that you get on the ships. The sun deck. Spa. And a bit of a closer look at some of the rooms. So this is our lower deck cabin. As you can see, this doesn't have windows as such, apart from this small window at the top here. But apparently you can look out of that. It might seem like you can't, but because you're actually below the waterline, or should I say below the skyline, when you're looking upwards, you can see quite a lot through there. And this is our entry level, so you're actually the entry level, the cheapest level that we do. You still get everything else that you get in all the other ships. You've got breakfast room service, you can have your breakfast in your room, you've got your Crabtree and Evelyn toiletries, Wi-Fi, hairdryer, safe, minibar, coffee and tea making facilities in all the rooms. If you wanted something a little bit bigger, we have our French balcony cabins, so you've actually got windows that open into like a Juliet balcony. You can't step out on there, but you can actually open them and see out, which I have to say, if you're going on a river cruise, I would really recommend that you do this, because it really does give you, as you're sailing along, the beautiful views. And then you've got a superior suite here. And as you can see, the bed's slightly elevated towards the window here, which is really nice because you sort of, in the morning, you're looking out as you're going along, or just before you go to bed, you can see out of the window. It's quite a bit bigger than the other one. You could see that the last one was a little bit, the square feet was a bit less. If you really wanted to splash out, we have our deluxe balcony suites, which includes everything from the lower decks, plus you've got floor-to-ceiling glass doors that open out onto a private balcony. You can see this private balcony here with table and chairs, and you've got 2 windows. And you've also got an additional space in the seating area and complimentary bathloads and slippers for this one. So this is the actual cruise that you're going on. It's the Blue Danube. It's the 20th of April 2026 on the William Wordsworth. The only thing you have to pay is a deposit of £500, and at the moment we've got the offer of the free all-inclusive drinks package, which would be included in your experience. You've got 7 guided tours included, but you will also have the guided tours that are included from us, from Go Cruise and Travel, of all the different cathedrals, if you should wish to take part in those, or you can take part in the guided tours that Riviera includes, whichever you choose. It's entirely up to you. And we've got day 1, you're in Budapest, then you go to Esztergom, Bratislava, Dernstein and Melkabany. You have a choice of Salzburg, Linz, then Vienna, and then back to Budapest, and you return home. On this cruise, you also have, we bring on board a live classic quartet recital, and also a Hungarian folklore show come on board to entertain you. I go into them a little bit more detail here. So the adventure begins in the city of Budapest. You arrive in Budapest. On arrival, a coach will take you to your cruise ship, and the dedicated crew are there to welcome you on board, ensuring you settle in, excuse me, and familiarise you with this first-class floating hotel. There's always a sense of expectancy and excitement on the evening of a cruise, and after an excellent dinner in the stylish restaurant, conversation is sure to revolve around the delights ahead. So that will be your first day. And the second day, you're going to travel to Esztergom and its famous basilica on a guided tour before a relaxing afternoon sailing. So overnight, we've cruised upstream to Esztergom, one of Hungary's oldest towns, which is a royal capital during medieval times, and today is the seat of the country's archbishop. We have a guided tour of the famous neoclassical basilica, standing sentinel over the Danube on the border with Slovakia. It boasts one of the world's largest altarpieces and a wealth of priceless religious artefacts. The castle, it's also worth exploring. It was the seat of government until the Ottomans invaded in the 16th century. It's the best of provincial Hungary and is little changed since Habsburg times. So as you get back onto the boat, you enjoy your first lunch on board, and we gently leave Esztergom in our wake, affording a fascinating opportunity to compare the different landscapes, towns and villages of Hungary on one riverbank and of Slovakia on the other. We explore on day 3 Slovakia's fast emerging capital, city of Bratislava, and then relax with an afternoon cruising into Lower Austria. Step into the historic St. Martin's Cathedral, site of the coronation for Hungarian kings. You've got a free afternoon on board whilst we're sailing to Lower Austria, and a peaceful region and home to some of the country's best wines. On day 4, you're going to visit Dernstein and Melkabany, which is a Baroque architecture overlooking the Danube. It's nothing quite prepares you for your first sight of this enormous honey-coloured building standing above the surrounding countryside. On day 5, you can either visit Salzburg Cathedral, or you can drive to Linz, which is once an independent state, whose archbishop turned it into one of the most sophisticated cities north of the Alps. On day 6, we will be getting into Vienna. So you will be coming into Vienna and you will be able to step into the historic St. Martin's Cathedral, a site of coronation for Hungarian kings. On day 7, you can go back to Budapest and we will marvel at the Baroque beauty of St. Stephen's Basilica and the Gothic splendour of Matthias Church. In the evening, you will enjoy a Hungarian folklore show before retiring to bed. On the last day, you're going to be returning home, but depending upon the time of your flight, which we don't have details of that yet, they've not actually been decided and attributed to the cruise, but if you have an afternoon flight, which often we do, you will also have some time to explore a little bit more of Budapest, and we don't kick you off the ship. You can enjoy lunch and have lunch on the ship before you have to leave, where we take you straight to the airport and onto your flight. So we also have, or Riviera have got £1 million worth of prizes to be won. So you just book any 26 holiday by the 31st of July and they're giving away some prizes of holidays, vouchers, etc. This is the offering from Go Cruise and Travel. So here you depart on the 20th, you come back on the 27th. All cathedral staff, volunteers and friends will receive £50 per person discount as a gift from Peter and I. And we are also making sure that we include and pay for all your entrance fees and tours to the cathedral and the abbey. We think that a return group transfer from the cathedral to Heathrow and back will approximately be £100 per person. We need 20 people booked to make this viable. If we get the 20 people, we anticipate that it will be about £100 per person. If we get more, it will be less. And if we get less, it's possible that if we don't get 20, we won't be able to run it. So we'll have to see whether we would run it with less. If we had 18, we probably would. But if we had 10, we probably wouldn't. That's the idea. For details and booking, if you can go to here, which is the New Leaf Travel, and fill in the booking form, we'll contact you for payment of the deposit once we have got enough people on the cruise. Once we've hit our 20, then we will contact you for payment of the £500. But on the website, there is a fillable survey or form that just gives us all your details, and it tells us that you are intending to go on the cruise, so we have an idea of how many people. Here's a little look of some of the suites and the prices. So you can see here, starting from the top, we've got our diamond upper deck, and for 2 people sharing, this is a deluxe balcony suite. The price is $3,599, but with your £50 discount, that would be $3,549. Your superior suite, which is a little bit smaller and doesn't have the outside seating area, that's a $3,299 per person. And a standard suite, which is a 17 square meters instead of 23 square meters, is $2,849 per person and can be for solo occupancy, but unfortunately it's £4,273.50 for solo occupancy. Now, if you would like to share with another member of the same sex, we are setting up a buddy group where we will buddy you with another person and introduce you to them. And if you feel that you're able to share with them, you can share with them, so you can actually have a more expensive suite, but you're going to split the cost with somebody else. You'll see in a minute we do have some cabins that are for solo occupancy at a much reduced fare, but those are the lower cabins, as in the cheaper cabins. Now we have our middle deck, Ruby, our middle deck. Well, we've got a superior suite of 23 square meters and a French balcony, and that is £3,049 per person. And we've got our standard suite here, which is also a French balcony style, but it's 17 square metres rather than the 23 square metres. That's 2,649 per person and 3,973 for solo occupancy. And the standard suite on the Emerald lower deck, this is the one that doesn't have a balcony. You're just going to be able to see through that window. It's 16 metres squared, and we have got a few of these for solo occupancy, but not very many. So if you want a solo cabin on your own, this is the best value at £2,623.75 for a solo occupancy, or £2,099 for two people sharing. But if you want that, I would really suggest that you act fast, because we don't have many of these suites available. So you can see now the prices there. So we did have some questions on the day. I think I've tried to cover most of them in the presentation now. Some of them were about if people wanted to bring friends. You can bring friends with you. You're able to bring a friend. If you want to bring a friend to share a cabin with you, that's no problem. If you've got neighbours that would like to go, family members that would like to have their own suite, that's not a problem, as long as they are a friend of yours, they're a friend of the cathedrals, and you can bring them along with you. So it's not, that's absolutely fine, not a problem at all. I'm not so sure what the other questions were, but I think I've probably covered most of them in the presentation. I think that's everything for today. But if you do have any questions, please let Peter and I know by email, and you can phone us as well. But you need to go onto the website, which is, I'll say it again for you, it's www.newleaf, travel.co.uk. That website is purely for this visit, for this specific itinerary, and you can actually fill in your intention to go, and then when we have numbers, we will get back to you for a £500 deposit. The remainder you will pay 14 weeks before we travel. So I hope that's okay. Thank you very much for your time today. If you are interested in this or any other holidays or cruises, please contact us. We really do want to put the personalisation back into travel, so you never have to be on a phone line waiting for us. You get straight through to us. We don't just work office hours, we work outside office hours, and we really want to make sure that you get the absolute best service that you deserve. Thank you very much. Take care.